Hi everyone and welcome to Book Boop. My name is Rachel and today I'm going to talk about all the books that I'm hoping to read in the month of October. I've got 9 different books to talk about here. Of course, they're all nice and spooky, arranged from middle grade all the way through adult, and I'm really excited to talk about them. It's also my favorite month out of the year. I adore October. I love fall. I love Halloween season. I love spooky season. As you can see from the decorations behind me, I have so many Halloween decorations. Hopefully in a future vlog in the next few weeks, I can show you my decorations around the house because I love them and I love decorating my home for spooky season. It makes me so happy. Also, I am fresh-faced today, no makeup. I didn't really feel like putting makeup on for this video, so I'm sorry if I look a little pale and pasty. But look, I've got my Halloween Town sweatshirt on. Isn't it cool? I love Halloween Town so much. Okay. I'm done being all random and crazy. Let's go ahead and jump into the books I'm hoping to read in October. So this first one is an adaptation from a movie that I really enjoy, and that is ParaNorman. This adaptation is by Elizabeth Cody Kimmel and illustrated by Ross Stewart. I believe the movie came out first, and this is just the novelization of it. It's a shorter middle grade, and I'm excited to read it. I think it'll be really fun. I personally really love this movie. It is a stop motion picture. It reminds me a lot of like the feelings of watching Corpse Bride and Nightmare Before Christmas. But this story, we're following this boy named Norman, and he is able to see and talk to the dead. And it's getting close to Halloween. It's taking place in Salem, and the dead start to rise from their graves. So there's zombies in it, and he's also trying to fight against the ghost of this dead witch who is wanting to basically destroy the town on Halloween. So it's a perfect spooky middle grade read for Halloween. I'm really excited about it. I think it's going to be fun to just kind of read the adaptation of it. So I'm excited about that. This next one, I adore this cover because it gives me so many nostalgia feels. It feels very 80s and almost kind of like Stranger Things-ish. And that is The Saturday Night Ghost Club by Craig Davidson. Look at that cover. Isn't that so stinking cute? And like the little ghost that's floating up there. It's so adorable. So honestly, I don't 100% remember what this is about. It says, an irresistible coming-of-age story about a group of misfit kids who spend an unforgettable summer investigating local ghost stories and urban legends. There's more to it than that, but I'm going to leave it there. So I thought it took place in the fall, especially with kind of like the fall foliage. So I guess it takes place during the summer, but I think it'll still be perfect for spooky season. I really think it will, and I'm excited to read it. It's a nice little short book. I don't know if this is YA or middle grade, so we'll find out, but I'm really excited to read it. I've had it for a while and I'm pumped about it. This is a book I was determined I'm only reading in October because it screams October to me, and I just found out there is a sequel to this book, so I need to read it so I can read the sequel, and I'm hoping I love it as much as I think I will. And that is Clown in a Cornfield by Adam Cesare? I don't know how to pronounce the last name. I'm sorry. This is about a murderous clown who goes on a killing rampage, killing teenagers. And that's all I need to know. It's supposed to be sort of like a classic slasher feel, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to remind me, I think, of like Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street, like that kind of feel, but like also It because of the clown. So apparently the clown comes back and gets all murdery again in the second one. So I'm excited to read the first one. I think it's going to be really fun. The cover is really creepy. It honestly looks a little bit campy. So I think it's going to be fun. And I've heard really good things. Like people really like this book. So I think it's going to be a good time. This one is also another one I feel like can only really be read in October because it just screams October vibes. And that is Devil House by John Darnielle. Wow, I am butchering names. I apologize. I apologize to these authors. I'm just butchering their names. This one, I feel a little weird reading because I am a Christian and I'm reading a book named Devil House. Seems appropriate, doesn't it? But I do love me some Halloween. This story, I'm kind of blanking on what happens in it, but it's about, I believe it's about a, okay, I'm just going to read it. I'm sorry. Gage Challenger is descended from kings. That's what his mother always told him when he was a child. Years later, he is a true crime writer with one grisly success and a movie adaptation to his name, along with a series of subsequent listen notable efforts. But now he is being offered the chance for the big break, to move into the house where a pair of briefly notorious murders occurred, apparently the work of disaffected teens during the satanic panic of the 1980s. So he's moving into this house and is trying to either get inspiration from staying in the house, or he's trying to write something that's based off of the murders that happened in the house. I'm not sure which, but it sounds like a good time. I feel like I've read some other books that have this also similar feel of someone either moving into a haunted house to research ghosts, or like moving into a haunted house to like get inspiration for writing a haunted story. And that is such an interesting concept to me. I love that idea. I just think it sounds so spooky and fun because I love haunted house stories. And it's interesting to, instead of somebody unsuspecting moving into a haunted house, this person's moving in hoping it's haunted and wanting to completely engulf themselves in a spooky vibe. So I'm loving it. I think it's going to be a good time. So we'll find out. Speaking of haunted houses, this one I've heard good things about, and I want to read some more of this author, and that is The Haunting of Ashburn House by Darcy Coates. This is another haunted house story as far as I know. Darcy Coates writes a lot, to me, feels very much like cozy horror. And I know that's a weird thing to say, but I've read a couple of Darcy Coates, and this author reminds me so much of my favorite children's middle grade author, Mary Downing Hahn, who writes ghost stories for middle grade readers. And the writing style and the feel of these reminds me of that. So these to me are cozy. In this one, it says, everyone knows about Ashburn House. They whisper that its old owner went mad and restless ghosts still walk the halls. But when Adrienne, desperate and in need of a place to stay, inherits the crumbling old mansion, she only sees it as a lifeline until darkness falls. And then it says stuff about like spooky things happening, moving around in the house. I think it's going to be a really good spooky time, and I'm excited about it. And I've actually heard about this book recently on BookTube, and people have been really enjoying it. So I'm getting really excited about these books while I'm talking about them. Okay, next, I need to read some more Riley Sager, guys, and I've got Final Girls by Riley Sager. This one, it says, 10 years ago, college student Quincy Carpenter went on vacation with 5 friends and came back alone. Murder, guys! In an instant, she became a member of a club no one wants to belong to, a group of similar massacre survivors known in the press as the Final Girls. And there's a lot more to it than that. We'll leave it at that. I think it sounds like a good time. I'm hoping to go into this not knowing what's going on. And I think it's going to be fun and murdery. And it's making me think of Final Girls Support Group by Grady Hendrix, which I have not read yet, and I want to. So this may get me in the mood to read that one. So we'll see. But I love Riley Sager. I've enjoyed every single one of their books, and I really want to read all of them. So I'm excited to read that next one. Very much in vogue with Halloween, we think of Frankenstein, am I right? And so I have a couple of books that kind of deal with that. First one is called The Mary Shelley Club by Goldy Moldavsky. I can't talk today, I'm sorry. This is a YA thriller. And let's just look at the synopsis. High school is a scream. Is it though? New girl Rachel Chavez is eager to make a fresh start at Manchester Prep. Oh, so it's a prep school. All right, but as a scholarship student, she struggles to fit in among the rich kids and finds herself turning to horror movies for comfort. As you do. Somehow, the stabby serial killers and homicidal dolls seem less scary than bored trust fund babies. Then Rachel gets caught up in a prank gone awry, going from weird loner girl to public enemy number 1 overnight. To Rachel's surprise, however, the incident attracts the attention of the Mary Shelley Club, a mysterious society of students who orchestrate elaborate pranks known as fear tests, which are inspired by urban legends and movie tropes. This sounds so dark academia. Are you kidding me? Also, I love that the main character's name is Rachel, and it's spelled correctly with an E-L, as it should. No offense to Rachel's, where it's A-E-L. I prefer E-L because that's how it's spelled for my name. But this sounds like it's going to be spooky, thrillery, dark academia. I think it's going to be fun. I'm excited about it. And it's actually a little bit chonky. But I think it's going to be good. I love the cover, and it's going to be great. So, Speaking of Mary Shelley, again, this is one that I recently found. I hadn't really heard of it before, and I was shopping around in this store called Ollie's, and they have a really great like discounted book section, and I stumbled upon this book, and the cover just grabbed me, and then I started flipping through it, and I was like, this is one of the coolest books I've ever seen. And it's called Lita Judge Mary's Monster, Love, Madness, and How Mary Shelley Created Frankenstein. So first of all, can we just appreciate the cover? I love the fact like you look at her and you're like, oh, that's cool. And then you notice Frankenstein in the back, or the monster in the back, not Frankenstein. But what's cool about this is it is a illustrated book about Mary Shelley. And I think is it told in verse? I can't remember if it's told in verse, but look, I mean, every page is freaking illustrated. Look at, oh my goodness, you guys, I mean, are you kidding me right now? It's just, I mean, look at that. It's all in black and white, and it's just so, oh my gosh, I just made a really weird face, I'm sorry. I'm really excited about this book. And this thing, it's not thick, but it's heavy. It's very heavy. I feel like I could kill someone with this thing. Not that I would try to kill someone with a book, but it's just, oh, and it's a pretty brown color. Oh, I'm really excited about this one. And again, like I hadn't heard of it before, but I mean, just reading an illustrated story of Mary Shelley's life, because I personally don't know very much about Mary Shelley. So I think this is going to be perfect for spooky season and a really quick read. I'm excited to be able to just completely drool over all of these illustrations, because not literally, but you know what I mean. Just get excited about them. They're so pretty. All right, one more book. This is another one I have been saving for October because it felt like the perfect October book. And it is called The Invited by Jennifer McMahon and McMahon. Don't know. This is an adult thriller, I believe, or just, it's a spooky book. And all I know about it is that these people build a house, but they intentionally want the house to be haunted, if I remember correctly in the synopsis. And so they like build it with materials from haunted places, or I don't know what they do, but they like intentionally want it to be haunted. Like they want to invite in ghosts. And it just sounds so fascinating to me. I think it's going to be perfect for fall. I mean, ghosts, haunted house, but the idea of the fact that this isn't an old house, this is a newly built home, purposely wanting it to be haunted. Do I need to say any more? I don't. So those are all the books I'm hoping to read in October. It's 9 of them, folks. I'm hoping I can get to them all. If I don't get to them all in October, I will definitely let these spill over into November, and I'm going to keep reading spooky books and just living my best spooky life for the next several months, because I have been living for this season. I needed it this year. I'm ready. I'm so ready. I watched Hocus Pocus 2. It was fun. Not as good as the original, but it was a good time. And I'm loving fall right now. I'm loving it. I'm loving all the pumpkin spice stuff and the apples, and it's delicious. It's wonderful. I hope you all are doing well. Please let me know down below if you have read any of these books. Please also let me know what books you are definitely wanting to get to this spooky season, because I am all about the spooky season recs. So please let me know down below if you have some other recommendations for me, or just let me know like what you're planning to read, especially for spooky season specifically. On this side of the video over here is my logo. If you click on that, you can subscribe to my channel, follow me on my book journey. I'd love to have you here. On this side of the video over here is a recommendation for another video, if you'd like to watch another one right now. But thank you so much for watching. I almost said washing. Thank you so much for watching. You rock. And don't forget to keep reading. I'm going to take my brain dead self away from the camera now. Bye.